After a nuclear war in the past decade, the surface of Earth was covered with a layer of radioactive mist. Several thousand people found shelter on an orbital station. Those who stayed had time to build artificial cliffs on the surface to give a chance for the future generations to return home. Ah, yes. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here. Welcome to Cliff Empire. This game recently received a massive graphical overhaul and is better than ever. Just a few days ago, a big O update coming out, calling it remastered. And so adding a lot of new graphics and details and such to it. This game's a sandbox city builder, also has elements of tower defense, aka you can defend yourself, build nuclear weapons and defensive towers, and of course also just a standard good old-fashioned city builder with manufacturing and making money, etc, etc. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the default mode here today as we work our way through the tutorial and take a look at all the things that are new, including those juicy graphics. There's a lot of things that are overhauled, updated, and tweaked, and so there's a full description on the Steam store page. But this one, which we played many times before, is a good one. Lots of beautiful landscapes here for this one, which you can also generate by just, clicking the generate level. Typically you get 3, maybe sometimes 4 different spires that you can build between and start building your city and repopulating the Earth. This is a recolonization simulator, and of course all of the people who are no longer on Earth are in an orbital station above the surface of Earth, and so they'll be coming on down to recolonize and build in these spires built above the mountains. So I guess anything below cloud level is deadly, but it is now time to reclaim the Earth, and this will be the first bastion of hope for humanity. Check it out. This is a beautiful water reservoir here. I think we're going to go with this one, and we can eventually build bridges to the other side and expand to other different types of sectors. We have the Quiet Coast, the North Coast, and the Split, which all have their different resources and money amounts and whatnot. So it's a good time. Lots of things to monitor, lots of things to manufacture. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and build then by building a storage center, which will bring down a settlement from space, and we'll get started. Looks like it takes 350 cryptocurrency and matter, which we can mine and manufacture later. Well, let's get to it then. We'll go ahead and build right about here. And here it goes. Resources in orbit are limited. I would imagine at this point humanity's gotten probably quite well at going to space to gather things like water through ice and maybe iron and whatnot through that, but now it is time to bring all those resources down to Earth and get people recolonizing the planet via all those things that we were able to leave behind and manufacture in the space around Earth. Alright, a landing platform, that'll bring some settlers to the planet surface, so let's go ahead and place that right there. Good spot for that. Alright, so now drones from the little resource center will go out and start manufacturing all the things we need to do. So let's go ahead and build a... what else do we have? We have farms, we have water extractors, we have orchards, we have the ability to make nuclear power plants, underwater uranium mines, battery stations for all the drones and future manufacturing, lots of solar power and stuff too. And looks like they want us to build housing for 15 citizens, so let's get started with that. Looks like there's lots of different options for homes, medium residence. I think we'll get started by building a, what do we got here? A residential complex. That's going to be quite an investment. Looks like we have 105 iron, but we are going to need a lot of people here. So this will hold up to 52 and will consume 8 power. But building a big O house is going to be a good start here, or at least a apartment building, because we're going to need a lot of people to work all those mines and farms and much more. Wow, take a look at that. Beautiful details here. Looks like some uranium is here for refueling the rockets to go back into space, so they can go pick up more colonists. And a lot of things are still covered in snow, as you'd imagine. Being up this high, it's just going to happen. Looks like this house is now being constructed. That's going to take a while. While we wait for that, let's set up some other things too. We know we're going to need power to power a lot of the stuff that we're going to be eventually, I guess, building. So let's go ahead and make a couple of solar panels here. And the building there is almost complete. Some other things we'll need, of course, are going to also be a battery maker. Or in this case, they call it a battery station. 7 workplaces. Yeah, it's going to take quite a few people to get everything done here. We'll build on this side too. Now in the tutorial, we'll be rewarded for completing a lot of these. I can recall a lot of these from previous playthroughs, and it looks like the order is unchanged. So things like water and food, housing, happiness, eventually medical, and fire protection and such are going to be important. Marauders can also attack our city. And as you saw at the start, that default mode is a typical, like, hey, repopulate the earth, fill in all the spaces, and take care of everyone's needs and increasing needs as demands increase, as people are greater in number and expect more from the place in which they live. But of course, we can tweak that to then add more difficult scenarios like further disasters and events such as marauders, pirates, essentially coming to the planet's surface and or already being here, and of course trying to raid the settlement. Alright, looks like we're building all sorts of different things here. Let's make this a priority number 1 on the residential complex. Priority number 2 on the solar panels, which create, well, I'm sure they'll create maybe at least over 100 kilowatt hours, and we'll make the battery station priority number 3. Cool. Everything has got to be built, and it's going to take a little bit of time, so let's see here. Wow, we have trading portals at our disposal, 3D printing facilities, mega drills, matter mines, some of these in which are under nighttime constrictions that, wow, only work with 15% efficiency at night. So the day-night cycle also matters in this game, and ecology is also going to be a negative thing, so we want to build a little bit away from there. Let's build our industrial sector over here. And another great thing about this game, too, is that when you build a structure, if you're not happy with the direction in which it's facing, you can also click the rotation down here and rotate a building for free. So if you're not happy with the direction of a building in which it's facing, you can always change it. That's kind of cool. All right. Another thing we'll probably need is some parks, so we can build that maybe next to the city there. The residential building there, yeah. Let's go with a regular sized park. Look at all the options we have for parks. Is that like a lion? Looks like there's a lion there in the park. Okay, we'll need one of those. We can also make a colonnade. That's going to be nice. We can decorate things however we like. Okay, all resources seem to be going towards the apartment building, although we have this priority number 1. We need a few more things delivered here. There we go. And the house can start construction. Ah! All done. So materials just need to be delivered, then things are auto-build. Very nice. Very clean. Very clean. A lot of this game's graphics are like that. The cliff, for example, having really smooth sides to it. The arches and stuff here as well. Graphical update is quite nice for the world around us. And it's contrast to the cliff that we're building, so that's kind of cool. Let's get our reward. Now we need to settle 15 citizens. So, oh, cool. If we press tab, yes, we can actually go into first person and walk around just like how it is in Anno 1800. And these rockets filled with people will come down from the orbiting station, and everyone will get off to go to work. Very nice. Good-looking bunch. All right, the rocket's getting ready to take off again.
Objective completed.
And should leave and head back to the orbiting station. Being refueled by the uranium there. 15 settlements, or settlers, have now moved into our settlement. There you go. Tricky to say. Settle 15 settler citizens. Oh, I can't even do it now. Alright, let's get our reward and move on to producing a surplus of power at 250. The rocket here will leave shortly. Both solar panels are complete. And there it is. Alright, charge 2 batteries. We are building our battery station as well, so that'll just take a little bit of time. Looks like the humans there that have moved in, our settlers, are now moving to work at the mine. And the rocket has now taken off back to the orbital station above Earth to grab more colonists, I suppose. Now, right now we've got material or matter. We've got some water and batteries and grain and such. Probably going to have to start farming at a certain point too. So we can go ahead and build our food production maybe down here. Food is going to be quite important with an open crop fields. So the crops can have failure if we don't build large indoor crop fields, for example. But they will require us to build the smaller ones first, which is a good idea because we won't have a lot of people to manage these. We'll build those to start with. All right, charge 2 batteries. That'll take time. Wow, the city's going to look absolutely beautiful at nighttime. That's going to look amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. I could just see all the lights and drones flying around. I do like all the lights on the drones. Instead of it just being like a pulsating light or just a headlight, they look a little more believable.
Small construction completed.
Excellent. Farm fields are being complete. I love this. The farm fields have tower cranes and a platform. Of course, as you all know, as probably some of you are expert farmers, you can't really build a farm without, reinforced concrete and rebar being delivered and mixed on site. And of course, you need steel beams and, of course, all sorts of different electrical wiring going through. Yeah, it's a big job. A tower crane needed to make any field. I love when games do that. Hilarious. Wow, lots of things to manage here, including drinking water, food, electricity. People will eventually want appliances and also a place to have medical care. So we'll need hospitals and electronic stores, and people will expect Earth to be Earth as it was before in just a matter of years. So it's much more than just starting a farming colony and sending food up to the orbiting station, but that's where we will make a lot of money. We have a lot more space down here than they do up in space, so of course we'll have a lot going on for manufacturing goods needed by those orbiting stations and people not on Earth. Alright, we need to charge 2 batteries, so all the electricity is going towards producing batteries right now. Efficiency is at 53%, more than likely because we've got people who are working other jobs. So we'll go ahead and make this priority number 1 for making those batteries, because we can also export those batteries too for money. Looks like we're making a lot of matter as well, so that's good. And it looks like production is hopefully going to increase as we get more and more people in the city. Let's see, do we have a population somewhere? Well, we can't actually see how full this building is at the moment. Oh, there it is. We can. 30 out of 52. So every time that rocket arrives, 15 new colonists arrive onto the colony, or into the colony, and move into the residential complex. I'm glad we did that. A nice looking place, honestly. Alright. Well, we can always see whatever we've got in storage with bags of grain, water, uranium, engines sitting around, iron, etc., as they call it, matter. Interesting. Alright, well, there is happiness. The city has got its prestige, but social changes are in the negative because, of course, well, not all the needs are met. We got to do that, and we will do that soon. Another battery being picked up from the roof of the battery factory and being flown now to the warehouse. Actually, there's another one there, so that should count as another battery charged. Boom. Alright, that should complete that goal. Oh, I guess the second one. There it goes. Well, 2 batteries were just delivered. And there's some matter on the way as well. Good. Oh, good. Efficiency now increasing to almost 90%. Excellent. With possibly efficiency decreasing at nighttime. It might be the same for the farm fields too, so all things must be considered. Alright, well, while we're waiting for them to produce batteries, let's do a few other things that we'll need. We will probably need more than just grain, so let's make ourselves a salad farm, which will then produce salad, all sorts of different vegetables and such. And that's going to be important because our people will need lots of different food, not just grain. Can't just eat bread. We'll need all sorts of different vegetables and nutrients in order to keep our people healthy and to have a diverse amount of stuff for export. All right, we're now being tasked and want to build the water extraction station, so let's do that. We can plop that down right about here. But I think we're going to put that maybe over by the farming area, or between. Actually, that's a good spot there. Perfect. And we'll build that as well. So now we need to extract 3 water from that station, and we are building, or rather making, building materials for future structures. Good. Very good indeed. All right, let's speed up time a bit. We've got a lot of things being built. We got a lot of things being manufactured. And we've got a long way to go. I love the way the buildings look at nice. Looking nice at night. That's for sure. That's a lion. Wow. That's beautiful. Lion. That is gorgeous. Love the blue light. Yeah. At nighttime, that really looks great. Okay. The water extraction building is being manufactured. Just 7 material needing to be delivered there from the mine.
Medium construction completed.
Our salad farm now complete. And grain ready to be picked up from the grain farms. So we will have a lot more food than we need, which is great. We can put a lot of that in storage and either use that for export or, of course, leave it in storage for future settlers. The trading portal here.
Medium construction completed.
We can trade with the orbital station, so we might want to build one of those soon. And we could probably build that here for future trading. There we go. Might be a good idea in the future to build the, now that I think of it, the storage might be a good idea to put right in the middle. And keep in mind, too, that each of these other sectors we will work individually as different cities. Now, they can trade with each other, but think of it as you got to build multiple cities in order to have everything functioning. So you could have one city that's primarily manufacturing, and another city that's residential and university, and another city that maybe perhaps works on large mining operations like uranium and matter in order to supply those other sectors with what they need to expand and grow. So it's going to be quite cool. All right, now we need to extract 2 matter. We've been definitely doing that. We're completing a lot of goals, though out of order. We're not wasting any time. Looks like the trade portal is getting up as well.
Huge construction completed.
Huge construction completed indeed. Now, if this is not facing the right way, we can always rotate it. Looking good, though. Very nice. And that'll be our portal to trade, essentially like a large dock that materials can be loaded onto and exported. How are things looking here? Well, it's nice to see all the detail of the salad farm.
Trading platform arrived.
And it looks like we're just making quote-unquote salad. Hey, check that out. Great. The drones can then take things from the storage area here and load it right onto the platform. And, of course, that'll allow us to trade all sorts of different goods. We're now being tasked with building a town square. Let's slow down time just so we can lay these out. The town square. So we have defensive turrets, missile silos, maintenance centers, floating maintenance centers. We can build those on water. We have protective fields for perhaps meteor strikes. Trade shuttles, which are probably going to trade more than the portal. Airports, 3D building facilities, all sorts of cool stuff. So a town square can be found under social institutes? No. But we do have schools and courthouses. Wow, universities. Even pharmaceutical units. Crazy. There's our town square there. We'll go ahead and put that down maybe in front of the park for our people to air their grievances. And we'll build that right about there. Perfect. Now, we don't necessarily need to build roads between our buildings, but I do like to leave it there because we can put parks and other things for the city's prestige, and that'll help out over time. Let's continue to work on our manufacturing. So we have a 3D printing facility, a recycling plant, too. That's great. Let's build our printing facility maybe over just behind the portal. There we go. So we'll leave heavy mining and heavy industry over here, manufacturing a little closer, and farming up here, and infrastructure there. I don't know. It looks nice, so I like it. What else should we build? We could probably make ourselves a pharmaceutical unit, so that way we can maintain citizens' health. It must be able to make medicine and also be able to treat the sick. So let's go ahead and put that down somewhere over here by the city. And we'll build that with the... There we go. With the building facing that way towards the center of the city. Perfect. Alright, how many colonists do we have now? 45 out of 52. How are some of the jobs going? Efficiency of the matter mine is down to 15 as it's nighttime. Overall efficiency of the battery station is slowed to a crawl, but we are building and farming a lot of extra stuff here. Got some workers working there. Oh, not too many at the farms. I'm pleasantly surprised with that. A lot of the automation is going well. Most buildings, in fact, I think all buildings in this game require somebody to work at them except for certain stations, like, for example, wind and solar stations. They don't need anybody working there just yet, unless we perhaps do some upgrades, which a lot of buildings actually have. For example, our residential complex here can be upgraded to accommodate more residents, or to be upgraded to use less power, or rather produce power as well. We can put solar panels on top of that. So a lot of buildings can be upgraded to solve problems without having to make more buildings, which is really great. I think more games need to do that, where instead of, for example, building a new building, you can just slightly modify an existing building to be slightly larger, or produce power, that type of thing. City builder games need that a lot as well. I would love for City Skylines, for example, to allow you to build a expansion onto a hospital or a school rather than just building an entirely new building altogether. It'd be nice to be able to upgrade rather than just to
Large construction completed.
duplicate and expand. All right, we're going to build a maintenance center here next to the matter site, and they'll be able to fly drones around in order to repair buildings. So maintenance center will go down next. And we should probably worry about, let's see, we're manufacturing, right? We've got our 3D printer down. Yes. So we'll go ahead and start making engines and furniture for that. And we can now start exporting that. So we'll take matter, manufacture things that they want in space for that, or engines and such for our drones, and we can now expand our economy. So we can export engines and use some of them to build more drones. So we'll build an airport as well. Let's build that on the edge of the map. There we go. Actually, we'll build that there. Cool. Trying to separate things, not necessarily necessary, but we could also build things more centralized to be more efficient too, but I think it's all right. Additionally, we can also rename our different cities, and we can also specialize a little bit more in making them happy through trade of the other sectors. We can build train lines across this water, for example. Some of the things we can do is build a bridge connection to either go to the other side of the lake here, so we can build from one sector to the other and transport things via train, or we can do the same here on this side. We should be able to build a train here and then connect to the other side and trade that way. Trains are a very effective way to get resources from one side to the other, so eventually we can build some large mines here, ship all the metal here, and do a lot of manufacturing. That's going to be the easiest way to make money at the start, but also a way that people are not really happy about with all the pollution and other things that may happen. I guess they're more conscious about of already destroyed Earth being destroyed again, so I don't blame them. Well, the drones are great. A little inefficient at the moment with a lot of jobs that they have to do, so that's why we're building the airport to construct additional drones, and that's why we're also constructing engines for additional drones and furniture, so that way we can export that up to orbit to repair or replace anything lost over time. Storage, I would assume, is probably very important in space. So I guess it doesn't necessarily mean tables and chairs from IKEA. It could be all sorts of things like storage lockers and shelving units and other things that they'll need up there. Town hall looking nice. Looks like it gets all sorts of public data that everyone can review. It is now the year 2100. Wow. Not so far into the future. All right, maintenance center is about 83% complete, so the matter mine will have to provide some more matter for us. And as for residents, we're at 45 out of 52. No additional colonists seem to be landing to recolonize the planet at the moment, but I assume it might have something to do with the city's prestige over time. Money is also a thing. Cryptocurrency here, very important for us to manage. Now, right now, I'm not going to do any trading just yet. We will be instructed to do some shortly. And so now, yes, we're being instructed to produce engines. And we should be able to trade some of those things. We're going to keep the engines, but we will trade all the furniture that we have. So let's go ahead and sell if more than 0 for engines, or rather for furniture, but for engines we want to keep those. And we could also export batteries too if we wanted to. That's a good number of items. We could also export grain. We could do that. So let's export more of 50 for now. Make us a little bit of cash at the start. Oh boy. 1 out of 2 manufactured at the 3D printing facility. Very nice. The airport's requiring 20 matter. Maintenance facility looking good. The drones here should be able to... I believe these ones may put out fires. And may also do maintenance on buildings, hence the name. Possibly. If they become damaged for any reason. Mega drills, trading portals, salad farms, pedestrian streets. So much to do. Now, I feel like we need more colonists on the planet to work some of these jobs. In fact, the matter mine is only at 4 out of 5. So we should probably make that our #1 priority now. But even when doing that, it looks like they don't get enough workers still. But we'll make the mine our #1, because that's how we'll build buildings, and that's how we're going to manufacture goods, to which we need to earn money through trading with the portal. So we need to export a little bit more furniture. And it looks like we're also doing grain as well. Wow, it literally is IKEA level furniture. I was expecting something different, but there you go, it's IKEA. The Swedes have come back to repopulate. We can't let the Danish get here and start their Lego settlement. IKEA must be first. All right. Airport's looking good. We can make a few drones from that one shortly. So we can make personal drones for people to transport themselves around the settlement. Cargo drones to deliver things back to the warehouse or the storage area. And, of course, the portal and some Zeppelins for tourism purposes. Wow, 20 batteries on that one and 8 engines. Spendy, but that'll bring in a lot of money from people who aren't yet believing that the settlement is trustworthy. They just want to visit and go back to their lives in orbit. Wow, things are looking good. I don't remember these types of level of detail, though. I don't remember clouds blowing around like this or seeing some of the snow blowing up over, or mist blowing up over the edges. It looks great. Really beautiful stuff. And I do like how the game still has some of its low poly look to kind of separate and differentiate things from the world around. You can see all the detail of the mountains. No trees, no water, no wildlife.
Trading platform arrived.
Dead, dead, dead. But maybe after a couple thousand years, there'll be a hope of a glimmer of a chance of a percentage
Objective completed.
that we might be able to do it. Pharmaceutical and farm are complete. And now we're being told to build 2 cargo drones from the airport. So let's do that. That requires 4 metal, 4 batteries, and 2 engines. And we'll be able to make a total of 10 of them. Right now we only have 3. So I guess the more the merrier when it comes to those drones. That'll speed up production immensely. Overall efficiency of the matter mine at 67%, ecology -5. But I still think we need more colonists. We're stun locked at 45 now. There must be some other requirements to get the population to be a little higher. But people overall seem happy. Looks like medical needs are being taken care of. Pretty much everything except for giving them home appliances and gadgets. Social transport. And not having a lot of fun right now. The entertainment center not built, and no tourism, of course, but lots of things that eventually we can make. Looks like there's cold storage in the game, too. Wow, so we can refrigerate things to make them last longer. We got wind turbines that we can utilize. Lightning rods as well. Interesting. Avon colony, anybody? Yeah, we might be able to build lightning rods to not only protect our settlement, but also to build a storage for harnessing that electricity in a battery. We have a wall rocket launcher and an interceptor station. Wow, we can actually build like fighter jets and defensive turrets, missile silos. Wow. Really cool. People are going to want a slice of this last remaining I guess, bastion of hope, so I wouldn't blame them for attacking. Well, we're going to destroy them, but I understand. And they understand that they'll be met with force. 7,612 here. Money, of course, being a more challenging thing as you're constantly building and expanding. But keeping people happy. Probably the most difficult thing in this game is happiness versus income. Keeping people happy and wanting to make, or having them want to come here and wanting to work and live, as well as trying to make some money by polluting and making manufacturing and exporting is very challenging. It is very difficult to do that. You need to be able to manufacture goods on the planet's surface in order to keep everybody happy, but also you want to build things like tourism, like perhaps over here, and yeah, connect everything together and make it so that way people want to visit and or are happy where they live. It's a very, very difficult dance. Very tough challenge. Alright, one more cargo drone to be built. We've made an astronomical amount of progress, though. One more drone, one more drone. We have our beautiful park built. We have gardens. We have monuments. Oxygen chambers. Wow. We could build a road here for everybody to walk down. Gorgeous. Alright, drone number 2 is taking its time.
Trading platform arrived.
It looks like they've got everything they need, so we're just waiting for daytime for the production. Ooh, 7 out of 10 workers. Alright. Not bad. Lots and lots of people working. Not to peak efficiency, but we're getting there. Alright, they want us to now learn to disable and enable buildings.
Objective completed.
Alright, improve aesthetics. So they want us to now worry about building nicer farms and such. I'm going to worry about more manufacturing and drones. I'm going to make 2 more of those so we can get everything delivered back to the storage area. Yeah, nothing can be used unless it's in storage, so the salad farm, the 4 farms, the batteries, the water, all that stuff needs to be brought over by the drones. So if it's not in storage, it doesn't exist. We need to make sure it does. We have pedestrian streets here we could build. Let's see, what else could we do? I'm not sure how much decoration that gives us. It does show you the layout, though. This is like, for example, a 1x2 or a 1x1 or a 2x1. Could build a garden entrance to our lovely city if we wanted to. Or we could expand the park out even further for the hospital. Nice. And let's build a nice entryway for our pedestrians. Maybe we could build a 1x1 park there for everybody to enjoy. There is a 1x1 park here, so we could build like a corner there for everyone.
Construction completed. Objective completed.
There we go. Aesthetics now increased.
Construction completed.
Happiness will be important. If we press shift, we can actually get ourselves a flashlight too, so we can see a little bit easier on what's what, or take a peek at things in storage. But the day-night cycle being very important in this game. Oh, it looks like we can settle up to 52 citizens, but let's spend some of our money to increase that to plus 28. So that'll give us a little closer to our goal, or at least a little more room to get a little closer to our goal. One is about aesthetics, one is about power, and one is about space. And
Citizens arrived.
for our first settlement, we definitely should make that all about... Oh, we could build more aesthetics here. Yeah, we should definitely make our first city all about getting as many people in as possible. We'll build those as well. I like how you can actually kind of see the light coming out of the... Oh, yeah, there you go. You can see the light tool shining. All right, we also need to build a town hall. So we can do that somewhere nearby. I believe that's under... Oh, and look at all the commercial buildings, too. Office buildings, entertainment, sanatoriums, hotels, data centers, marketplaces, and larger banks and office buildings, too, which will eventually just generate crypto for free. There's our town hall, our capital, parliament, House of Faith, Court, etc. Nice buildings, I must say. Alright, let's go ahead and make our city hall here to connect to the town square, to connect to the park. That'll all look really nice. And it looks like we've got 60 citizens now. We can increase up to 80, so we'll hit our 70 goal fairly shortly. Let's go back to the parks again, and we'll make a nice little pedestrian street. To the city hall. And we'll build it to there. We can build the two separate sections, and we can actually rotate them. You can see you can put the lighting on one side or the other if you want. So maybe we'll flip that around like that. Cool. Now actually, let's see what's cheaper. The pedestrian street requires 53 and 1. Ah, so it's actually cheaper to build the individual sections. If you build the two separate, it's 25 and 2 or 53 and 1. So I'm glad we built the shorter ones. Actually, kind of more beneficial if you're making a shorter connection. More settlement. More settlers have arrived to the settlement. Settlement is now growing and receiving 60 people in total. Wow, imagine that. Let's see a rocket ship here land. Stay on target. There you go. Very cool that we get to walk around the city and take a look at everything in its nice details. Settlers now walking off. And we can see what they see. Not bad. A nice bastion of hope. People hanging out on the park benches. Roadways being constructed. Town hall. Very nice. Let's make sure we make that our top priority. Priority number 1. All jobs are being fulfilled. More drones have been manufactured. Let's do another matter mine. We're going to need a lot more matter. It really slows down production at nighttime, so we can't really get away with one, I feel. And we've got a lot that requires that matter. We got the engine factory from the 3D printer requiring that. We've got our building for the town hall requiring that. And we've got, I think, also the drones require, metal as well. So that's going to take a long time. Very nice. More uranium being delivered for those ships. A lot of uranium being required. Boy, do I like decorating, though. 2 metal, 1 water, and 100 crypto for the different types of parks there. It looks like it increases ecology and aesthetics. That's good as well. So those parks, which seem like a little bit of a maybe not a good investment, actually are. Plus we can take advantage of some of the edges of the map, and building residential areas nearby is quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Looks like we can build a small garden here if we want to. Or we could have built that there in the corner, but that kind of lets it walk through. Alright, town hall at 41% complete. Let's speed up time a lot and see everything function. Last event was another drone being complete. We can shut down this building for now. It'll require less power and less workforce.
Tiny construction completed.
There we go. Water factory requiring 5 workers. 10 people needed at the maintenance center. 5 people needed at the mines. It looks like electricity is dropping a bit. I believe the battery station can deliver batteries to other buildings to have them function at night. I think batteries can be consumed that way. And given the fact that we're out of batteries, mean that that might be an important thing to do. Build another battery station. Batteries can be transported or used during a power deficit. Ah, we better build ourselves some wind turbines then. We'll need to produce power day and night. So, build ourselves some wind turbines there to keep them functioning. And they produce 40 kilowatt hours there, or whatever the measurement may be. 26 out of 72, so it looks like the solar panels will fluctuate.
Tiny construction complete.
Maybe if I shine a flashlight on them, maybe they'll be more efficient. Power being produced again. And we need to make more batteries. Now, let's see. Produces batteries from local surplus power. Right. We definitely need to make sure that we are producing more power so more and more batteries can be made. Is there any sort of manufacturing? No, power supply is 0. So there's no metal needed here. It strictly is just electricity. So surplus will go to more batteries. And that could also equal extra export for us. So that'll get us some extra money. People not so happy about that second mine. And maybe the lack of power and such. But we're making improvements to that. And the city hall will also make them happy as well. Because, of course, the city hall will allow them to express their frustrations. And we can try to make improvements for our citizens much more effectively. All right. Town hall will be done shortly. Wow, lots of drones going back and forth. Definitely a good thing that we made an extra drone. Manpower at 80% displays employment rate of the population. Oh boy. Well, we want to make sure we've got a little extra workforce there. Oh yes, and when your people are unhappy, they'll start stealing goods too, so that's definitely something we need to work on. Let's go ahead and make that priority 1. Alright, so we're going to try to build the windmills so we can always have power. We're going to build ourselves some other things there too. Alright, looks like we're low on water. So we definitely need to make sure we've got enough people there. Settled 35 people on your second cliff. Oh, they want us to expand already. So we're not producing enough water, or are we not exporting enough water? No, we're just not producing enough. So more water already needed. Oh, there's a water filler there. Filters water from cliffed ponds. Ah. That'll be a good option too. Much more expensive though at 30. So build another water extractor for now, and then we'll eventually upgrade and delete. We'll go for the best solution for the time being and see what we can do. Yep, so people are a little unhappy with the city now. But luckily we've got some things being provided from the town hall. Wow, it looks like there's no way to shut down City Hall, boys. There's no way to disable the building. Alright. Well, we'll need more and more money coming in, but what we can do now is we'll go ahead and disable some of the buildings that are a little less prominent, a little less important. So we'll disable some of the farms. We're going to keep 2 of the farms running. And we'll make sure some of those other things are ready to go as well. Certainly a challenging game, and one that we've been through many a time. But there's much to do, much to explore, and much to expand to. And even when rocketing through the tutorial, following all that stuff, we still have ourselves a long way to go as well. With the improvements being made to the water production, that'll bring people right back as we have another basic need taken care of. Some shortages in the supply chain will be resolved. Power will be constantly provided, so we'll have a lot of extra exports for batteries. So right from the get-go, we can start exporting a lot of extra batteries for money, and that'll solve the money issue for a while. So water will be solved, power will be solved, money will be rocketed in, and we'll see more of this game sometime in the future if you'd like to see more. So make sure you go ahead and smash that like button. Certainly a long one to play and a great one to play on Livestream. So if we play it some more, it'll definitely be there as we built ourselves a nice looking city. Thanks again, guys, for leaving a like here today, and thank you very much for watching. We got a lot to do, a long way to go, but that's how it is in Cliff Empire. Thanks again for watching, folks. Have yourselves a good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Looking good. Gotta say, I like the graphical update for sure. It's piqued my interest to play once again. See you soon. Goodbye.